We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. extended his deep sympathies to Indonesian President Joko Widodo and the Indonesian citizens following a powerful quake that hit the country's West Java province. At least 268 people were killed in the 5.6 magnitude earthquake, many of whom are children. More than 1,000 are injured and hundreds are still missing. In a tweet, Marcos said the heartfelt prayers of the Filipino people go out to the families of those lost and affected by the devastation. He said he chose Indonesia as his first country to visit when he assumed the presidency due to its closeness to the country's geographical location and culture. He also considers Indonesian people not only as neighbors or friends, but as kin. Meanwhile, President Widodo said his government would fast-track the reconstruction of damaged infrastructures and would provide financial assistance for the affected families. Indonesia is prone to earthquakes as it's situated on the quake-affected area called the Pacific Ring of Fire. At least 420 Filipinos are living in Indonesia's West Java area. The Department of Foreign Affairs said no Filipinos are reportedly hurt during the incident. The Philippines has sent a note verbale to China following the incident involving the Filipino and Chinese forces in Pag-asa Island. Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo said the DFA has already reached out to China to clarify the matter, as there are two conflicting versions of the report. The issue stemmed from the retrieval of the unidentified object in Pag-asa Island, which is believed to be a debris of the rocket ship launched by China. The Chinese Coast Guard reportedly seized the towed object from the Philippine Navy and made a series of explosions that day that rocked nearby villages in Palawan. But the Chinese embassy in Manila denied the report, saying it was retrieved after a friendly consultation. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. earlier maintained he has full trust in the report of the Philippine Navy. He also said this incident shall be included in the topics to be discussed when he visits China in January. The Senate approved on the third and final reading the proposed 5.268 trillion peso national budget. Senator Sandy Angara said the budget shall address people's post-pandemic needs, supports food security, revives education, and prepares for the impacts of climate change, among others. He assured that even though there has been a decline in COVID-19 cases in the country, it will help government ensure proper response to the continuing threats of the pandemic. Members of the public transport sector, farmers, and fisher folk will also continue to receive fuel assistance. Scholarship for indigent students will also be funded, as well as benefits for senior citizens. The Calamity Fund was also increased from 20 billion pesos to 31 billion pesos. Good news, government workers' call for a compensation increase may soon be granted, as the Department of Budget and Management assured another salary hike starting next year. The DBM made a statement following the calls from government unions for an increase in the national minimum salary to 33,000 pesos per month. It clarified that a further increase in salary for government workers must be carried out through a legislative measure. The previous wage increase came through Republic Act 11466, signed by former President Rodrigo Duterte. Finance Secretary Benjamin Jokno said the government may consider another round of annual salary increases for government workers starting 2024. This month, the Department of Labor and Employment ordered regional wage boards to review the current minimum wage situation of private sector workers amid soaring prices of basic goods and services. That's the latest on the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We're also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and Radyo Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I'm Stephanie Civiliano. We tell stories that inspire change.